Chapter 4. After the splash about 200 meters away comes another one a few seconds later, slightly smaller but still enormous and closer to our canoe. In the light of the rising moon, the water droplets glisten as they cascade back back down. Seconds later, there's a third splash and a fourth, all getting closer to us in a straight line, as through a massive, unseen stone is being skimmed across the surface. By the time the fifth splash comes, only about 6 meters from the boat, the resulting waves have started to tip our little canoe wildly from side to side. What is happening? I wail. Then the spray soaks us, and we both cover into the bottom of the rocking boat. I feel rather than that, something passed overhead very close to us, causing Susie to squawk with alarm. What is it? I shout. Iggy makes no attempt to answer. I raise my head to see the sixth splash on the other side of the canoe. Then the seventh is much smaller. Whatever is causing it has become less forceful. There's an eighth splash, then a smooth of water that washes over the jetty, then just nothing. Nothing but the darkening sky, the purple lake, and the black-green of the surrounding forest, and silence, broken only by the slapping of rippling waves on the side of the canoe. Eventually, Iggy straightens up and says, "Good Lord, did you see that?" But I don't know what we saw, so I just end up moving my mouth without making any sound. There's nothing to see now. Anyway, whatever caused the splashes must have sunk. But only about 10 meters from the shore, where the water is shallower and fairly clear. Together we paddle towards the spot. Perhaps, despite the gathering darkness of the afternoon, we'll be able to shine a light into the water and see something. As we get closer, I hear a humming noise, and we stop, allowing the canoe to drift as I turn my head to hear better. "Listen," I hiss. "That's it. The noise I heard all night that Tammy disappeared. There it is again." A low hum like a bee trapped behind a window, but almost inaudible. Staring again in the direction of the sound, the surface of the water appears disturbed and sort of indented, as though a huge glass plate is resting on the lake near the jetty, but it's hard to make out in the half moonlight. Then, as we drift closer to the shape in the water, the nose of the canoe bumps into something, probably another floating log, I think. But even I look, there's nothing. Nor is there a rock. I take hold of the paddle again and stroke it through the water. But we are stopped again with a bump by something kind of objects we can't see. From the sound of the canoe makes, it's as if this object in front of us sticking out of the water. But that's impossible because we can't see anything but air. What is that? What's stopping us? Tate, what are they hitting? When the canoe bumps into nothing for the third time, I decide to change the route and paddle around the triangle of smooth water. I stop before the canoe reaches the shore. Then I turn back to look. Pass me the spinner, Tate, says Iggy. He takes a large fishing lure from me carefully, avoiding the Victor's hooks, and pushes a tiny button on it, activating the laser light that is supposed to attract fish. He points it in front of us towards whatever it is that we are not seeing. Oh my word. Would you look at that? I'm looking. The green beam of light heads stride across the lake, takes a sharp left turn, then curves around to go straight again. Iggy moves the light and it does the same, deflected by something we cannot see. I find a pedal on the floor of the canoe and toss it towards where Iggy is pointing the light. There's a dual ping and it bounces back towards me, landing in the water with a plop. It is exactly as though it had hit a pane of glass. Only there's no glass there. I throw another pedal and it does the same. Opening Iggy's fishing tackle bag, I take out a big lead weight, and throw that hard. Same result. We're both freaked out by now. Then the humming lowers in tone. The water before us seems to turn up slightly, and the shape on the water heads towards our canoe. Move, it's coming for us, yells Eggy. We both reach down for the same paddle, causing the canoe to lurch sharply to one side. In one smooth movement, Iggy and I are tipped into the dark water, and we won't even have time to shout out. The cold doesn't hit me immediately, but I plug beneath the surface. I suck in half a lungful of water and come up spluttering and weighted down by the heavy jacket and sweater. I just able to keep my face above the surface, and that's when I gasped at the freezing cold. Between gasps, I call out, Iggy. I think about us not wearing life jackets. I'm consumed with fear. A ball of red hair bobs up next to me, followed by Iggy's terrified face. Uh, uh, I'm here. He grabs onto me. Gotta go. That thing's get, get, getting closer. He can hardly speak with cold. He starts to swim for the shore, then stops. Where's Susie? As he says the name, there's a suffering from inside the upturned canoe. Susie, cries an anguished Iggy. And before I can say anything, he's bobbed under the surface. Seconds go go by while I feel my clothes getting heavier and I'm probably scared. Iggy, I shout, and I turn a circle in water. Iggy! I'm ready to scream again when there comes a splash from beside the canoe. Iggy's head reappears, and next to it are the sudden red feathers of Susie, who looks very startled. I have to end it up closer to the jetty than Iggy, and I'm finding it easier to swim than he is because he's carrying Susie. I leave myself up the slippery iron ladder, weighed down by soaking clothes. I look back at that is when I notice the strange, half visible shape on the surface of the water moving, getting closer to Iggy. Iggy is not about 15 meters away, and I can see the look of sheer terror on his face, and he realizes what's going on. Swim, Iggy, swim! Don't look back, just swim. But he does look back, and I think he's frozen in terror for a second, holding Susie's head up. He started thrashing with his other arm and kicking with his legs. Come on, Iggy, come on, you can make it. 10 meters, 5. I can hear the humaning noise, now as whatever is making it cuts across the surface. Getting closer with every stroke Iggy makes, I stretch out my hand. You can make it, come on. He screams and with a gurgle, lets go of Susie and disappears below the black surface of the water.